I'm Natalie, and I have here with me Nick today. And Nick is a real live college student with Crohn's disease.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, she made it, she's here, and you can too. So let's get started. You feeling ready?
Absolutely.
When were you first diagnosed with Crohn's disease?
The week before I turned 7, my mom finally decided that there had been enough issues building up to that point that I finally got hospitalized and diagnosed with Crohn's disease, but it had been an ongoing issue for a couple of years at that point.
And then coming to college, what was the most difficult part of your transition?
I think certainly for a lot of my life I hadn't necessarily had to be completely responsible for my own illness. A lot of the times my parents were very helpful, or just there were reminders set up around my house, or my parents would stop me from eating something that they knew wasn't exactly healthy for me. Medication reminders. My parents always knew when I was supposed to be taking my medication, so just making sure that I started to take responsibility for my own problems, my own health essentially, was really difficult, I think, for that first month or two.
So do you have any tips for incoming students to kind of smooth that transition?
Definitely talk with your doctor, talk with any friends you might have who have Crohn's or colitis. If you don't know anyone with Crohn's and colitis, there's lots of helpful Facebook groups and whatnot, and you're welcome to ask questions there. I would say to always just be writing down bits and pieces about your health so that if you notice that something's not working out well for you, you can change your habits. Certainly going to the dining courts I think can be a bit frustrating at first if you don't pay attention to what's being offered or really think about what you're eating, because a lot of the times parents make those kinds of decisions for you without you having to put a lot of effort into it. But I also think it's important to make sure that you talk to professors, talk to the Disability Resource Center, and just use every resource available to you.
Mm-hmm. So did you ever keep a food journal to monitor maybe your symptoms that followed you eating a certain meal?
I had known prior to coming to college that certain foods, particularly anything made with corn or with high fructose corn syrup, was not very good for me, but my parents never kept a whole lot of things made with corn or with high fructose corn syrup in the house, so it wasn't like it was an issue. But then I come to college, it was I started noticing, and so I started keeping track of when I was having soda and when I was having certain desserts or whatever else, certain types of sugar that I knew tended to bother Crohn's. And so then I was like, oh, maybe this needs to be a less often sort of treat than just an all around, all the time kind of thing.
What kind of room accommodations have you found here at Purdue?
So before I moved in, I really sat and thought about what I would want if I were to be in a flare. On top of having Crohn's, I also have anxiety issues, a whole number of other things. If I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, then I have to go, and running to the bathroom all the way on the other side of the hall wasn't going to work for me, nor do I like to have to share the bathrooms, especially if they have to be up early and a bunch of other girls are trying to use them. I just panicked a little bit. But I talked to the Disability Resource Center here, and they were more than accommodating when it came to me asking to have a single room with my own bathroom. And that's really been very helpful to me. It's prevented a lot of accidents and other issues from occurring. And even if they do occur, I have the ability to have my own shower, keep myself clean, keep my cool without having to deal with a lot of the embarrassment that I otherwise might have to.
What kind of classroom accommodations have you found here?
I don't have any specific accommodations for the DRC for in the classroom. But if I were to need anything, I'm sure that if I asked them, it would be put in place immediately because I have all my documentation with them. Generally, I found that if I have issues with arthritis or needing to use the restroom a lot within a particular day or just not feeling up to par to going to class, I tell my teachers usually fairly early on in the semester, and I talk to them if I feel like I need extra time on a test or extra time to do a project. It generally hasn't been an issue, but every teacher I've met has been super duper accommodating about my issues.
How private do you keep your health?
To me, I've never had any issues with disclosing my medical status with other people. From the age of 7 to the age of 18, went to Crohn's and colitis camp. And so I've always had really strong role models in my life who have similar issues. What I've learned from them and from my own experiences is that being really honest right from the get-go with strangers, if you have to be, certainly with friends and with teachers, and just with people that you know. If you tell them, there's almost never any sort of judgment. More often people are likely to judge you or think that you're lying or causing issues if you refuse to disclose your medical status.
Rapid fire, are you ready? Okay, favorite bathroom on campus?
Second floor or third floor of Stewart. They have these really big lounges and really nice cozy stalls. It's always just the right temperature and there's never a lot of foot traffic. Very peak conditions. Cool. And then I do happen to have a least favorite bathroom on campus.
Oh, do disclose.
The first floor of biochemistry.
Oh, I haven't been there.
You don't want to.
What flavor LaCroix are you drinking today?
Mango.
Oh, nice. I got my pamplemousse.
This stuff keeps me together when I'm not allowed to have caffeine or when I'm not allowed to have any sort of artificial sweeteners when I'm really in a flare. So highly recommended.
Swag. Do you have any final closing thoughts?
Just be proud of who you are and proud that you've come this far, especially with an illness, because it's oftentimes really, really difficult. So just making it to college and making it through, I think, really means a lot.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you.